ProtectMyRegion.com, back with another episode of the Morning Joint Podcast, man. I've got a very special guest today. It's the 105th episode. We're over 2 years in to this series, you guys, and we've brought back on someone that I admire, someone that I respect, who's been making a lot of moves. Jason Bello, CEO of Flower Expo. Good morning, my friend. How you living?
I'm doing great. Always a pleasure.
Come on, man. You're the young OG, man. Us people, we aspire to be making these kinds of buyers and brands and business and millions of dollars of transactions happening, man, at these events. I'm a big fan of Flower Expo, but we got Michigan coming up. You got Michigan, Lansing. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. What are you excited about, man? I know you're a person first. I know you're the owner. You're the big boss dog, but you got to love what you do. So what are you most excited about first and foremost from a human element?
Yeah, I love what I do. I think, when I embarked on this journey of Flower Expo, it was rough first year in Massachusetts, building that show, pitching a new idea of an event that they'd, never seen before, a consumption trade show that was very business focused. So it was calling up, having personal relationships with all of those brands, all of those dispensaries. Michigan has been, luckily we have Massachusetts to go off of, and a lot of people have built it, and we've,
there's people in both states for Michigan and Mass. So there was some familiarity, right?
Right. So we gained respect out there, and I think that it translated really well over to launching a new event in Michigan. But that's why we're going to have over 100 brands, over 300 retailers coming to walk the show. And I think it's really going to be an amazing first year show, one of the biggest I've ever been a part of.
Personally, this is going to be huge. I saw the brands, Lume, some of the big dogs in Michigan, man, coming out, Joyology, STIIIZY. People don't know these name brands in Michigan, man. They don't know the incredibly large companies that are out there. And it's because Michigan's been focusing on itself. It's been really focusing on building a strong industry there. Everything has its ups and downs or its shortcomings, but they've been really focused on just taking care of business out there. And so, you guys have all these brands. What are some of the bigger named brands? What are some of your favorite brands that are going to be participating in the show from a vendor standpoint? We'll get to the retail. We'll get back to the retails.
I would say, I think Bloom is going to have an incredible presence there. They're doing they're going to bring a really nice booth, as well as sponsoring the after party in a big way with not only weed, but some mushrooms to get the night going. But some of the big ones, like you said, STIIIZY, Cloud Cover. I'm excited to see ProGrow. They're one of the biggest operators in the state and local to Lansing, which is very cool.
Wow.
I'm even excited to see C-Cell coming in, and they're going to have a really large presence. But, to see some big vape hardware, that's going to be really cool for our show.
C-Cell in the building, man, going big. I like to hear that, man. It requires confidence from these brands, right? You had to have done it successfully in Mass to be able to go over to Michigan, right? You had to have learned, you had to have had experience from the West Coast to be able to go do a trade show of this magnitude with this level of impact. I have a lot of respect for the hustle and the grind. Your experience, right? Working with the trade show, running marketing for retail. You understand the brand and retail dynamic because you've lived it. You've had to manage the vendors. You've had to help build the campaigns. You've taken those meetings with us and Weed Maps, trying to learn what sells the fastest and what works and what doesn't. And I think that perspective is incredibly valuable because a lot of CEOs for events, a lot of promoters, they have a team and they don't always know the marketing. They don't always know the ins and outs. And so I've got a lot of respect because you got your hands dirty with us marketing guys, posting on social, taking care of content, doing the data meetings. It's just incredibly powerful. When you think about the value proposition of your trade show for retailers specifically, obviously brands, we want to sell to the retail, right? We want to sell to the customer, right? But the retail, it requires, does it make sense? Is the price? Is the THC? Is the terpene content? Is the brand? There's so many variables that go into it. What do you feel is the real value proposition behind retails rocking with you in Flower Expo and physically coming out to support?
Yeah, 100%. I appreciate everything you just said. I mean, I would say that um, for retail, this is the opportunity to see all of the best product in one place, at one time. You're getting pitched all day. I mean, retail managers are getting sales managers hitting them up all the time. Can I come to your store? Can I show you product? And obviously trying to sell into their stores. But this is one place, one time where I get to see all of the best product in the market. And that, I mean, that goes into the big focus of our show. I think, there's a lot of shows, not only in our industry but every industry, that don't have a super targeted focus. They're general, they're broad in scope. Our show is literally brands meeting dispensaries, and that's it. um, there's consumption and sampling, everything like that adds to it, and that's another big part, is listening to the client, delivering upon their expectations and their asks, always speaking with the client. So we do two things well: having a targeted focus and hitting that very hard, and getting retailers to subscribe to our event, getting the clients interested in showing them value year after year, but also listening to them and understanding what are their difficulties, what are their goals, how do we help them achieve that.
Absolutely. If you're not able to really listen and identify what they're trying to achieve, then how do we know if there's value being provided, right?
That's
How do
it.
we know that we're providing what they're looking for, right? And I want to go back to something that you said about this. Well, you didn't say it exactly, but you alluded to it, to the context of it. It just got me thinking how long it takes to build that relationship, to get that sample drop, to get the meeting, to show up, drop it off, pitch them, and then you still have to wait for them to try it and get feedback. So
Yeah,
the normal the buyers and brand cycle, calls, emails, visits, multiple times, multiple versions, multiple rounds of that.
yeah.
Bam, you get lucky, or you know somebody, you get the meeting, you drop the samples off. Jason, are brands allowed to just rip open that vape and rip it right there in the back room?
Nope. And
No.
by the way, I'll throw it right back at you. I mean, we both have done territory sales, and, not only was it, I would just say, difficult to, meet with retailers and have that interaction, show them your product, try to sell to them like you're saying right now, but we were also subject to, the industry and price fluctuation and different things like that. So
Those
at
are the
a certain
given. That's the
right.
given.
Yeah, and at a certain point, it became, I mean, at when I was running sales at Source, like at a certain point, it almost became, it was no longer economical, right? So events like mine, I really think I really believe in what we do. That if you're a brand, you're tapping into our event at a very low cost relative to what you would be doing otherwise, which is sending out people, PADs, doing all
We're
that.
gonna dive into this. I'm going to
Yeah.
unpack this part because
I
I
think
worked
it's
for
the tip
one of
of
the
it.
largest. I worked for one of the largest companies in cannabis back in the day.
Pure
This is how we
Pure
first met,
Co,
right?
right?
No, but well, Buddy's brand first, right?
Okay.
Even bigger than the Cure Company, right? And so you got to think like, okay, so I'm making a salary. Put that at our salary was high, so let's put that between 2,000 and 6,000, just for a number. All right, so that's monthly. Then you got gas mileage required by law if you are an employee. 65 and a half cents a mile is what I started with in 2009. It got up to 68 and a half cents a mile when we were finished. So my mileage to visit my 30, 50, 75, 150 accounts in a quarter divided by 3, that's 3 months, right? It's a lot, guys. You got to think mileage, car, wear and tear, time, salary. Then
Product
you have to,
sales.
then the product just to
Yeah.
get there, then the marketing, then you're paying for the email service, whether that's HubSpot or Fresh Sales or whatever you're using. You guys, you are at least with one person, maybe two at the two, let's just say two people on your team minimum. You're spending 7 grand. You're
Yeah.
spending 10 grand. And then you're not even guaranteed to get any results. You go to a flower expo, you go to other events like that, right? You guys are going to see 20, 30 buyers in one day. And I'm not talking just seeing them, I'm talking conversations. A minimum of 10 conversations if you have a booth, a minimum of 20. When I had a booth at the last Flower Expo, I wasn't even there at the whole time. I counted 60 plus conversations with 30 to 40 being primarily retailers. I'm talking to brands too, so I was taking care of everything.
Yeah.
You got to think, we don't even have product for sale in Massachusetts, and I talk to so many retailers because they're just walking by, touching every booth. So the value here, you guys, it saves time. Although it might seem like oh my gosh, this cost is so high at first, the booth, the travel, the hotel. You guys, 2 to 4 people on your team as sales reps cost you that much, and they're not even guaranteed to talk to buyers when they go out. They got to get lucky. It's got to squeeze into the right time.
I'm a big believer in the model and the structure we've built, and I'm very confident that this Michigan show is going to be a huge success for everybody involved, people attending, people exhibiting, and very excited to see how the show grows. Massachusetts, like you said, grew a lot. Year 1 to year 2, well over 250% in size.
Absolutely incredible.
Michigan's really untapped potential, and this show, though it's going to be big year 1, I think only a lot of room to grow.
The exciting part about this is that you guys actually have an event going on at the same time as another group. And we are, as the cannabis industry starts to grow, we're starting to see this happen more and more. There's the stuff that's going on local, and then in your case, you are a national trade show, but it's in your second year, or third year. So it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like you're at the level of MJ BizCon, and everybody knows that at this point, right? Like there's levels to this, right? And so the other event, I just want to show love to them because they are the local event, the MICIA Summer Annual Conference and Chronic Cup Championship. So a lot of the best brands in Michigan are already going to be gathering that week, going to be submitting their best products into a competition. And so to me, I know that a lot of people, again, view things as competition, but guys, this is the early part of the industry. You're talking about the best brands are already in the mindset to be competing and talking and networking. And now there's a buyers and brands trade show at the same time. To me, the value of that and the timing, although funny, is so much more valuable because of the fact that people are psychologically making moves. And so I just want to touch on that. Michigan, don't look at it like there's anything else besides more opportunity going on. The week of August 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th is going to change Michigan's trajectory forever. And it's only going to make it better. Michigan has already been on the right path. I think there was this article going out, Jason, right, or went out about the sales being greater than California. I forget which key detail that was, but you got to think that's all before Flower Expo got there, right? So now it's going to be interesting to see what kind of value and impact you guys have on that one. I have to ask because I care a lot about culture, products, brands. You've had to have been out there. I think I called you and talked to you one time out there a month or two ago when you were out there navigating the venue and checking out the new space. Can you touch a little bit on, maybe some of the product that you tried or enjoyed out in Michigan so we can get that personal cosign or recommendation? And then I want to hear about this venue too.
I mean, I gotta give love to the brands that are in the show. I've tried some ProGrow. I've tried some of the MSOs out there. I've tried the STIIIZY, and
nice.
I think what I like about what I liked about STIIIZY and Bloom as well is that they it's a very consistent product state to state. I think that's really important as they scale. What they're trying to do is delivering a consistent product every state. I really like that. But I'd say some of the local brands made by farmers, they're incredible. Lake Life Farms, rather. They're right north of Lansing, and they've got some great product. Excited to work with them. But
amazing. I like that they're, Michigan's cool because there are MSOs. There's but they're not all the GTIs and Curaleafs and those style of MSOs. They're legacy operating MSOs, which STIIIZY qualifies. Bloom has been around for a long time, right? Some of these groups are staples to millions and millions of consumers in their own regard. Now, I want to circle back to the venue. Walk us through what people can expect. Where are we going? What's it going to look like for those that have never seen it?
I'm excited. We're going to pack the house, man. Lansing is a cool town. It's different than Greenfield, where obviously you're familiar with it because you went out. But
country, Farms.
Exactly. Lansing's a little bit more built up. You know, it's a college town. It's Magic Johnson's hometown. So downtown Lansing's a really cool area where everybody's going to be staying. Nice hotels. We'll do the after party at Lansing Shuffle. The venue itself, we've got a shuttle bus going back and forth from downtown. It's about 10 minutes away. It's We're calling it the Flower Expo Industrial Park. It should be a really cool vibe. A
Nice.
ton of exhibitors are going to be there. It's going to feel jam packed, but great food, cool food trucks. We're bringing that East Coast feel with the Cousins Maine Lobster. I'm really pumped about the sessions out in Michigan. We curated an incredible lineup, and I think you'll just have to watch it or be there and see it to believe it. But
What are you most excited about in terms of the panels?
I think it's a good mix of local operators, some of the bigger ones as well. We have some, I think we have a pretty cool one on AI and kind of the digital space marketing.
Yes.
But
Thank you for that.
yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think we bring a lot of the curated lounge areas, stuff like that, the stuff you saw in Massachusetts. It's going to be a really good place to get business done, but also chill out, have a good time. It'll feel like you're at a festival, but you're getting a ton of work done.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, for me, I love the music and the festival vibe at some of these trade shows. It's hard to get that executed perfectly, but nobody's stronger in our immediate group that I would put faith in. You guys are going to do great work, man. I'm really
Thank you.
excited.
Appreciate it, dude.
The Flower Expo Industrial Park, man, coming your guys' way. Michigan, we got August 7th, August 8th.
That's right.
Lansing. It's gonna be a good time. We got what did you say? You've got shuttle buses from downtown, a quick little 10-minute ride, park your car in a safe parking space in the downtown area, catch the shuttle. There's gonna be food, there's a party. What's going on with this party? Something shuffle?
Lansing Shuffle, cool bar, a bunch of food stalls in there. Dispenza's going to be DJing. Bloom is going to be doing a great after party outside, and good place to trip.
Yeah, and I'm rolling up. Right outside the front door. You guys are gonna see me chilling there.
All right. Yeah, join us August 7th and 8th, Lansing, Michigan, theflowerexpo.com. Let's do it.
Yeah, you guys, I'll work on getting a post up about that event and about the after party. So for those of you guys interested in going, definitely be sure to tap in. Send me a DM. I'll get you linked up. Jason, if you could share that information with me as well, that'd be great. Everybody watching, man, this episode has been brought to you guys by RMR Legacy Smalls, available in California and Washington. We're working on other states, so if you're interested and you're an operator in these other states, please be sure to reach out. We're working on licensing deals, interested in doing that. Appreciate y'all for the love, always, and the supporters. You guys, 105 episodes into the Morning Joint podcast. We've been blessed to have Jason on here a few different times on a couple different occasions, talking about the Flower Expo Mass for a couple years, and now we're up for Flower Expo Michigan. So if you guys want to get out, you guys are interested in networking with the best brands, some of the biggest companies in all of Michigan, a state that not a lot of people know what's going on out there because we're all so focused on the West Coast or in our new market, right?
They should be aware. You all
should be aware. Also, too, for those of you watching, the North American Weed Tour does kick off August 4th. We are flying. I am flying to Lansing. Actually, we're going to fly to Chicago, and then I'm going to drive over to Lansing in Detroit. We're going to be visiting the pre-roll lab. We're going to be visiting Willie McKenzie's grow. I forget, Lost Coast. It's going to be a great situation. So stay tuned as we unveil, unpack, and peel off the layers of the Michigan cannabis community. We're going to be showcasing some locals out there. I'm going to be reviewing a bunch of weeds, so definitely stay tuned. Brands there, if you guys want to get involved, I'd love to review your guys' product at this point because it's so close. I'm really just interested in pulling up to you guys and reviewing the products for free. So whatever you guys have that's best of the best for your state, please put a pack together and let me know and reach out so we can pull up on you guys, do a little video, show some love on social media, and talk some shit about that product if it's whack, man.
That's a great opportunity. really
Yeah,
is.
come on, you guys. SEO, we want to help you guys and your customers search this. To quote the homies from iHeart Jane, Trees, and other point of sale companies, 70% of people that are buying something over $50 are going to look it up online and look for a product review. And so you want a review that is honest, authentic, entertaining, and accurate. So please consider working with us. Jason, the Flower Expo is in less than 10 days. Do you have anything that you would like to let the people know before we get
Don't
you on
miss
out of here?
out. Join us August 7th and 8th, theflowerexpo.com. Be there.
I want to read this off. Exhibitors at the event will include prominent brands such as STIIIZY, Glorious Cannabis Co., ProGrow, Holistic Industries, which includes Strane, Garcia, and Garcia Hand Picked, among others, Bloom, Cloud Cover Cannabis, that's a big one, and Lake Life Farms. In addition, leading retail purchasing groups such as Ascend Wellness, Bloc, Cloud Cannabis, Exclusive, Gage, which includes cookies and lemonade, High Profile, Jars, Joyology, Sozo, Lume, Skymint, and Quality Roots with additional retailers.
The
So,
official dispensary partner, Higher Breed, by the way.
you guys, that is so much opportunity. If you guys are interested in learning about Michigan, making moves in Michigan, selling to retail in Michigan, there's no other place to be. So, Jason, thank you for being here with us today. Always a pleasure. Thank you for supporting Respect My Region. We will be out there making moves. Stay tuned for at least 8 to 10 interviews on site. You guys, we'll see you on the next episode. Jason, it's Monday. I'll see you in a couple days.
Appreciate it.
All right, y'all. Talk that shit. Do what you got to do. But no matter what, Morning Joint Podcast will be back next week. I think I'll be in Michigan.